Hi, welcome back to the farm. My name's Roz, also known as Passion Flower, and you'll find me here each week talking about my farming and creative life. We had our first frost this morning, very slight, just enough that I had to pour water on the front of my car before I could head off this morning. So we are getting those cold mornings, and the heater went on as well. The cats are now curling up on me at night time, trying to keep warm. So I'm finding that I've got less and less of the bed space. So I think there's going to have to be some negotiations that go on there because otherwise I'm going to lose ground considerably. There still hasn't been a lot of rain though, so we are still quite empty in our dams. Our tank situation is okay, but definitely the dams are still a long way off, and there's still a lot of refilling of water baths for the animals. I think this weekend, and I've said this for the last few weekends and then haven't done it, but I think I do need to move the sheep out here into the grass area either today or tomorrow. I just want to check the fences before I put them in because the grass is always greener. So as soon as they figure out that they're in a new space, they'll try pushing where they can. But there is quite a lot of grass here and not a lot where they currently are. And if they're able to eat out there, it'll just give their other area a little bit of a chance to recover, maybe. And I'll hopefully be able to get another hay bale put in for them as well, clean out their water bath, all of that kind of stuff. So that is on the agenda for the weekend. As this video goes live, I will be in Kyneton for the All About Fibre and Yarn market there. And then next weekend, I will be in Mornington on Saturday for the All About Fibre and Yarn market. So the day before Mother's Day. So if you've got some last minute gifts, yarny gifts for yourself or for your mum, I'd love to see you there. Hopefully I see you in Kyneton as well this weekend. And then the big market that I am preparing for is the Victorian Hand Knitters Guild market in Coburg on the 14th and 15th of June. So I'm doing quite a bit of dyeing for that now and holding that stock back and not taking it with me to markets in these next few weeks. First, to a few things that I will have with me on the weekend. I've dyed a fresh batch of olive. Again, this is coming out much more blue on the screen than green. Maybe it's a bit better back here. And also some bouquet. Nice, bright, colourful one. So I'll have these with me on the weekend. I'm also printing now more yarn bowls, spindles, row counters and containers in lots of different colours. So I'll have a selection of those to choose from in Kyneton and in Mornington, and then as well as a big lot of those for Coburg as well. There's lots to get done in the next few weeks. I'm still reskeining these. They've only just dried, so I just reskeined these two so that I could show you. And then I've got to finish doing that so that I can pack my tubs and pack the car. So I'm working on a few things for the Coburg market. It's a 2-day market, so I want to have quite a reasonable amount of stock, and I'd like to do a few new things. I've been doing this gradual new colorways, but I kind of want to do a collection, something a little bit different. So I've been working on some colors with the idea that these will be sock sets with 100 grams of a variegated and then a 50 gram of a solid bright color. And I'm still working through, I've got some ideas in terms of names, but I'm still working through finalizing that and how this is all going to come together. So I just want to share a couple of, I'll show you the yarn. And what I've also been doing is taking photos of the yarn when it's been laying in the sink to rinse off, and it looks quite abstract and arty. And I've actually blown up the pictures to I think it's like 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters, and got them printed out, and I'm hanging them on my wall in my house like art. It's just like really cool. Like I haven't really had that much art on my wall. I've had something that I painted myself, but not all that much. And this has just like really brightened up my space. So that's making me happy that I've sort of got this new different art to put up on my wall. So let me just show you the colors. So this is all on sock yarn, and I have dyed four solid colors so far. Got this like tealy green, a really bright orange, a silver grey, and a bright pink. It's maybe not quite as fluorescent as that, but it is pretty bright. So these are going to be the contrast colors, and they'll be in 50-gram skeins. And then I've done 4 variegated colorways, just experimenting with some different ways to dye. And I've got this one. I'm going to put some pictures up on the screen as well, because what I've done is I've skeined one up just like this, like how it comes out when I dye. And then I've also skeined it up with like having reskeined it, and just looking at the difference between the two. So I'll pop those on the screen for you to have a look at as I go through the colors. So there's this one, and this one. And this one. That's a good representation there. And this one here. So I'm really happy with how these have turned out, and just having fun trying a new dye method. So I'm thinking that I will do a couple more colorways, and then I'm going to match them together with these solid colors, and just have fun with creating some sock sets. So that's my latest project. First to what I am wearing this week. This is the Miranda. I'll put the details below in the description, along with all about the other things that I talk about. I knit this quite a long time ago. It is out of pure wool from Bennett and Gregor that I bought at Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show. Oh my goodness, years and years ago. And I've made another jumper out of the yarn that I bought with as well. So it's got cables down the front. It's got a kangaroo pocket in the front. The sleeves sort of come down to here on me, or here. And it's a really good length for here in the shed, because as you can see, I kind of push my sleeves up most of the time. But when I'm doing stuff, it sort of keeps me warm without them getting in the way. It's really soft and comfortable now. It's been washed and loved. It probably needs a little bit of a de-peel, but I really don't care. And it's a really lovely, comfortable jumper to wear. All right, now into my knitting. So I have finished the jumper for my sister that I have made using the numbers from the 52 weeks of Easy Knits pattern True Stripes. And then I used the top-down sleeve instructions from the shoulder down, from Le Badeau, by Two of Wands. And I've used acrylic from Spotlight. I've used the, I think I said Mona Vita or something last week, which is totally incorrect. It is Moda Vera Valley 8 ply, and this is in the Latrobe colorway. So this is the Latrobe colorway. And then I've got Fluff, which is, I think it's Otis in white. And then the pink is also a Moda Vera, but I don't think I have the tag for that one. And it is, is that it? No. and I think it's called Ruby. So it is completely done. Ends are woven in. All I need to do is block the neckband just a little bit, and also block the ribbing on the cuff, just so that it sits a little bit nicer. It's really doesn't need like blocking into shape. I just want to make sure that the bind off sits nice and flat, and that it just evens out the stitches a little bit. Because I had blocked the body before I joined it all together, and I don't think the sleeves are really going to need blocking. I'm a little bit worried about washing and blocking this. I mean, it probably can be, but I'd rather not for the first time giving it to her. I'd like to keep it nice and fluffy. So this was a lot of fun to knit. I've really enjoyed being a little bit off book and creating my own design and pattern as I've gone along. She tried it on with one sleeve, so she hasn't seen it finished yet. Her birthday is at the end of this month, so that is when she will get it for her birthday. So yeah, super happy. Done. I've also done a little bit more work on my Happy Street, but again, not all that much because those rows are really, really long, and I am doing it in the evenings just before I go to bed. I am into the dark purple pink row. As I explained last week, I only did 5 of the light ridges because that's all I had left. So I did 5 of the light pink, and I'm going to do 5 of the dark purple pink. What have I got left? I might be able to get another row of the purple and the light pink. I'm not, no, maybe not. So this could be it. So it'll be finished with this one, and then continue with the dark main color for a little while just to finish out the rest of the shawl. I've been loving knitting on this. It's been such a lovely end of the day project, just garter stitch, and it's really easy to read what's happening with the pattern. We're talking about it at my knit night last night, and a few of the other girls have downloaded the pattern and are looking to cast one on because I've seen me working on mine and I've gotten inspired. So that's really nice. Last week I talked about all of my whips and looking for needle tips. So if you haven't seen that one, you can go back and look at last week's episode when you've finished here. I also talked about the test knit that I'll be doing for the male clad vest. We don't have the pattern for it yet. We've just had the instructions in terms of what yarn and needles and swatching and all that kind of stuff. So I have done my swatches, I've blocked them, and I've just had them sitting in a bag, sort of relaxing, getting rubbed up against things, all of that, just to test out the fabric. And I have measured, and it looks like I've gotten gauge, so that's exciting. And now I'm just waiting for the pattern to be released so that I can get on with that knitting. So I'm kind of leaving a knitting slot open for that. Sort of the jumper for my sister's been sort of will be replaced by that vest. Oh, there's a wasp. One second. Oof. Okay, I think we're all right now. But I have picked up one of the whips that I was going through last week. Not done a lot on it, but it has gone into the rotation. So you might remember the Knit Pro bag that I showed you last week, and it contains my Wonka cowl, the wool of my pines. I forgot the words. The wool of my pine cowl. So so last week I discovered that these were on 2 different needle tips, and I don't know why. So what I've done is put them both onto the 3.25 millimeter, which is what the pattern calls for. So I'm hoping that that is what should be on there. And I have, you can see here, this teal cotton is a lifeline that I've put in where I was up to. And I have done 2 rows of the brioche pattern, incorporating in the to the fudge room with the millions of tiny pieces. And I'm now up to where I need to properly read the pattern to make sure I do the crosses correctly for all the decreases so that I can get the trees to look correct, like that one down there. So I need to sit with the pattern open and without a cat on my lap and just go through and do one repeat of the pattern so that I know what I am doing and don't screw it up. Although with the lifeline, it's not such a big problem. I did also notice that, and I have made no notes on anywhere about what I had done previously with this, except that which row I had cast on with my provisional cast on. So I should be able to match up when I sew it together with where the rows align. So that's one thing I did. But it's supposed to, in the pattern, have an I-cord edge. And if you can see, this is 100% not an I-cord edge. It is just 3 garter stitches on either side. So I don't know why, or if I misread the pattern and just continued on that way the whole time. But yeah, it's definitely not an I-cord, which is fine. I don't mind that it's not. It'll give it like lots of nice drape and not make the edges too heavy, which an I-cord may have done. But yeah, so only just re-picked this one up. And I did also cast something new on only because I was going to knit night and I needed something that I didn't have to think about, didn't have to look at a pattern, and could just knit on so that I could chat and enjoy my time out. So I started a pair of DK socks. I am using the ball that I bought at the Moda Wool and Handicraft show from Heather Heathermade. And here is the progress so far. So this was literally, I cast on the toe on Wednesday night, and then I knit basically all of the stripes at knit night on Thursday night. So I've done a full repeat of the colours, about to start on the pink, and I think, luckily for me, that's the right length to put my heel in. I'm using a black sock yarn from, I think it's Harriet Farm, and I am just holding this double to make it an 8-ply and then knitting the sock. I've got 40 stitches total for my sock, and because I have a tiny little foot, which is lucky for me too. So I should have plenty left over. I think I'll end up doing another full repeat for the leg. So I'll get a full rainbow on both feet. Well, that's it for another week. Thanks for spending some time with me. If you're enjoying these videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to seeing you next week on the farm. Bye.